time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.
What's up, guys? Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com, back again with the Proton D1200 and those VU meters. Check them out. Here's the back of the amp. Now, this particular model is not bridgeable. There's no bridging switch, and unfortunately you cannot run it bridge, but it does have these RCA jacks that are mounted just to the board with solder. Look how loose they are. I'm going to fix that in a future video, but the binding posts are nice. This amp was manufactured in 1984. That's right, my friends. 33 years as of the making of this video. This amp's older than a lot of you people, I'm sure, watching it. So the continuous output was rated 100 watts per channel, but this amp had the dynamic power on demand, which could do up to 1500 watts per channel at 2 ohms. And 2 ohms is pretty incredible for a home amp. Here you can see some of the other specs, such as the signal to noise ratio, 120 dB. Don't see that much on even the very high-end amplifiers. So let's check out the 1985 Audio Magazine Annual Equipment Directory. This is the first year, 85 was the first year that the Proton D1200 was available for sale. You can see here it listed on the bottom, the other two Protons listed were integrated amps. $549 the first year it was offered. After that it was $599, and I think it went over $600 not too long after that. This same issue had the dynamic power on demand ad from Proton explaining their new technology and how it works and what it means. Pretty cool. Here we'll give you a quick sound demo, and again, this is not a sound quality demo, just kind of shows how the VU meters work, and the Proton was powering a sub. Just kind of gives you an idea of how it can push it. Check it out. Alright guys, we've got the good old amp dyno fired up. We're going to try out the Proton D1200, check out the results, and then once we get to the end of the video, I'm going to explain a little bit more about what I think about the results and this truly incredible amplifier. Oh yeah, powered up the Proton D1200. See my reflection in that bad boy. She is pretty. The new LED lights I put in. We're going to try it out tonight. Alright, Proton D1200, 8 ohms, 1 kilohertz, certified up to 1% THD. $398, $378. Wow, almost 400 watts in the 8 ohms. Alright, now we're going to do 8 ohms certified with the Proton. We're going to do it at 40 hertz this time. Good numbers, right about the same. 381, 368, so around 375 average per channel at 8 ohms, and it's rated 100 watts per channel. Nice. All right, now we're going to do a dynamic burst at 8 ohms at 1 kilohertz, and this is going to show off hopefully that dynamic power on demand. So check out the VU meters and also the dyno at the same time. Got a light show for you boys coming on. Here we go. There you go, over 600 watts at 8 ohms. That's almost double what we got RMS. A little less, but still, I say RMS. What we got using just the tone But that's incredible, over 600 watts per channel. All right, so I popped the internal fuse last time I did this test. I've got the volume so that it should count up just a little bit quicker, and I'm gonna try to pause the track as soon as it gets to the number where it stops, and hopefully it will not blow the fuse again. So let's try it out. 4 ohms, 1 kilohertz certified up to 1% THD, both channels driven. $541, $513. It's a little bit more than I got before when I blew the fuse. Crazy! So for some reason I lost the video clip that showed when the fuse blew. Just showed the amplifier just completely shut off and not react to anything. It kind of scared me. This is an old amp. You know, the amp dyno is pretty brutal. So this is showing me getting into the amp and where this fuse is here on the left side. It's an 8 amp 250 volt fuse. Wasn't sure if it was a fast blow or a slow blow type, so I got the fast blow. But anyway, just wanted to show you what this was all about and explain this segment, why I put it here and why I didn't show you why the fuse blew. All right, so I've replaced that fuse, the one that's right down here. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll turn on. Please turn on. Yes! Beautiful, beautiful amplifier. I will treat you nice the rest of your life, I promise. Thank you for working with me. So while I have the amplifier apart, I figured I'd show you guys some of the guts and show you what's going on this beast. Here on the left bottom is the power button. And then when we get to the internals, the really cool thing, if you notice, is it's kind of a mirror image. If you split it right down the middle, each side is pretty much the same. It's got all the same components. Each has its own power supply, has its own caps, its own output devices. Pretty cool. I'll put a link in the description to Vintage Stereo Buff, and he talks a lot more about the design of this amp. So I'd like for you guys to check that out. Here's the inspection sticker on the side, and the very interesting part is there is no stamp for the final inspection. What's up with that? Here, if we check out the bottom of the amplifier, you can see the underside of the circuit board and also the output devices. This amplifier has 8 per channel, 4 each SC3519As and 4 each SA1386As. These are complementary bipolar junction transistors, or BJTs. Alright, so after replacing that fuse and showing you guys a little bit of the internals, let's put this amp back together, and then we will put it back on the dyno, do some more tests. What you say? Stick around, let's see what it does. Alright, now we're going to try a dynamic Proton D1200, 4 ohms, 1 kilohertz. Oh yes. Big numbers there, friends. 1100 watts per channel, 2200 watts from this 100 watt amplifier. Awesome. All right, Proton D1200 and its awesome reflectiveness here and the new LED lights. We're gonna try a 2 ohm dynamic burst, 1 kilohertz. That's where it's supposed to shine. Let's hope this bad boy doesn't blow up. See what it does. Holy crap. Look at that. 1700 watts per channel dynamically. Oh my God, that's unreal. Unreal. Proton D1200. Killing it on the amp dyno. Alright guys, so here are the results I captured from the amp dyno. The one thing I wanted to note is the certified runs at 8 ohms and 4 ohms the numbers I got came really close to the 200 millisecond rating of this amp. And what I'm kind of thinking is, the way the amp dyno works is it just counts up the wattage until it reaches the 1% THD or the clipping. And the way this amp is designed, that may have boosted up these numbers because that was within the 200 millisecond time. So obviously the dynamic runs were using the same 20 millisecond run that are quoted 1500 watts per channel at 2 ohms. So those numbers are pretty close too, but still very impressive that this amp can do this kind of power with this age. It's Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com. Until next time, I'm out of here.